I'm back. In this reality that we are all currently living in, social media is a part of everyone's life. And it's a part of our daily routine for most of us, from the minute we wake up to the minute we go to bed. And so I do think it is, oh my word, if you can hear the construction, I'm so sorry. I was gonna just wait for it to end, but every time I think it's done, it's carrying on. Sometimes I feel like I'm the only one that goes through these weird motions with social media. I go through phases where I don't want to be on it at all. I want to just delete every single social media app. But I do still love it for so many reasons. And that's why I never end up straying or staying away from social media. Because I mean, creating posts and reels and stories, it just offers us such a good opportunity to be creative in sharing things with our loved ones and also just in expressing ourselves. And I mean, humans are wired to create. It's also just an amazing way to connect with loved ones. I mean, not even just WhatsApp messaging each other, but also in seeing what family and loved ones are doing with their life through social media, and even getting to send them posts and reels that remind you of them. So I do think that that's also a really nice way that we get to connect with one another. I think my favorite thing though is finding creators that inspire you. In other words, influencers that promote self-improvement, self-love, environmental education, just promoting consciousness. I think that is the best resource we have today, because the collective consciousness of this generation has definitely improved from previous generations, and we can definitely owe that to social media. One of the most valuable things about social media to me is that it allows us to share our business ventures and whatnot with a larger amount of people, which is just brilliant. Like, it gives us such an easy way to promote our own success. We can also use it to support others. But the thing that always strays me away from social media is the idea of being perceived by loads of people. And I don't mean to say that like I have a lot of followers or anything. I get fixated on how people perceive me, which is really bad, really toxic, and then I start to not want it and I don't want to be a part of it anymore. Another reason that social media isn't always my favorite thing is just how easy it is to compare yourself with other people, because it's so easy to shift from being inspired by other creators to being jealous. Also vice versa, because usually jealousy just means that you want their life. So instead of being jealous, you can actually easily convince yourself that you're not jealous, you're actually inspired. As much as it can be the one way, it can be the other, which is why it can become so toxic. You're like, oh my word, like, why can't I look like that? Why can't I have a life like this? Why, and that just like shifts your mindset to this point of limitation. And when you're in that mindset, you are limiting yourself. The universe moves on your vibration, your frequency. Once I learned about that, I decided to change my algorithm very quick to things that are more inspiring, that influence more gratitude in my life. It honestly just increases your vibe like crazy, and it attracts so many good things in life. I'm also not gonna go too deep into that. Maybe I can make a video on that another time. But for now, social media. We need to remember that social media is a highlight reel, and it really does create illusions that other people's lives are better than yours. Everyone only posts the parties they go to, the events they go to, when they're looking good. No one on social media owes their followers anything, so people are allowed to only share what they want. I mean, that's just a boundary you have to make with social media. This modern thing of being transparent on social media, where everyone just expects you to share everything in your life, it's not healthy. With it being this curated highlight reel, people tend to look at their lives and think that their lives are less than. It really does lower our moods and our self-esteem, and that is just also so bad for growth. Again, it puts you in this mindset that my life is terrible, this victim mindset. One way that I get in a limited mindset, or I used to, is from not realizing that the thing I like in someone else is the potential I see in myself. you should realize that, oh wait, I have that potential. That's why I love it. So instead of being jealous, I should be inspired. Your jealousies are actually just a mirror telling you what you want in life, what you should strive for. On that note though, also something you don't like in someone is usually mirroring something in you. And it's also not really your fault. Society has convinced us that certain things aren't normal. I think for a lot of people, even if they think they don't agree with that, subconsciously they kind of do. And you see that with like your dating interests and people you support. The only solution we have is balance. I think having another hobby that can replace your screen time is a good way to try to balance that. Because I still enjoy looking at stupid reels every now and then. I still think it's fun. We need to balance it because otherwise we're all just gonna be a generation of idiots. So we need to educate ourselves. When you are on social media, I think it is important to include creators that are educational. So even though I am scrolling on Instagram, it is actually interesting things and things that stimulate my brain, you know? Obviously some of it is still stupid and funny and whatever. And overall, we just need to reduce our screen time. So instead, do things that stimulates the brain, the body, the soul, you know, one of those. Read, exercise, go outside, meet with friends, family, or picking up a hobby like crocheting to be improving ourselves and to gain more skills. Learn languages, that's another one. We can also use social media to follow the marginalized groups, to also just extend our support, but also start rewiring our subconscious. So we need to set boundaries with social media. I was so convinced that having a lot of followers and a lot of likes was so important. Like I had to do that to be important, you know? And I quickly realized that that's not true, and that even if it is true, I don't want it. I noticed that when I had more followers, every time I posted, I'd be like, are people gonna find this weird? Are people gonna think I post too much? Anytime you hesitate to do something you wanna do because you're afraid of what someone else thinks, that's just you judging yourself. Sometimes actually me posting random things on my story, or things that matter to me on my story even, is literally just me trying to radically escape that fear. Be conscious with who you allow to follow you. You want a good community, you know, you want people that support you and that are on the same page as you. Also with the people you're following. For long, I actually struggled with the idea that unfollowing someone is cruel and that they're gonna be offended and hurt. But honestly, you really don't have to give anyone an explanation for anything you do if it has to do with your well-being. I guess I also just wanna say why I'm starting YouTube. Sharing on Instagram for me lately just hasn't felt enough. I'm always sharing things that resonate with me. I'm so passionate about teaching people the things that I've learned and also just teaching myself things. Basically, I just want everyone to become enlightened with me. So while I am growing, I want you guys to grow with me. So I hope that is the outcome of this channel. For a long time, I hesitated doing this just because of the idea I had of a successful YouTuber. You know, usually a successful YouTuber means that you are basically sharing your whole life on social media. They're posting regularly on social media. I did attempt having a YouTube channel in high school, so I did try to overcome that. I wasn't really being myself. I was really putting on a YouTube persona to try and be successful in it. I was like, I can't live up to this, it's not for me. But I've realized that it actually doesn't matter how you do it. Either I could be unsuccessful but still feel good, or I can be successful but feel way too exposed. So it's like, either way there's a bad, I may as well just do what I want to do, which is kind of the key to life as well. My intentions with this video, it's definitely not to showcase my life, but rather to extend my knowledge on certain things and my experiences that I've had, while also hopefully learning and gaining more experiences from this. I really do hope that this opens other doors for me. Let's try not go on our phones first thing in the morning. We don't really need to be comparing ourselves as soon as we wake up. Limiting ourselves in the morning, that's not good. We need to be in a state of gratitude, and don't believe everything you see on social media. A lot of people are also going through it. Anyway, I love you. See you in the next one.